back out here working on Aaron's 60 Chevy. My goal is to get this thing back down on the ground and make sure the power steering works 100%. Got a couple of things I got to button up. Let's get into this. Let's get started. I'm WhiteWall Steve, and this is my Good Enough Garage. Just going to show you what I got going on and what I'm going to get done today. Number one on the list is to get that fan shroud. I got it up just a little too high, and notice how it's crashing into that radiator hose. I'm not really happy with that. Aaron said it's always been touching because you notice there's a little piece of hose on there. I want to bring that thing down so that it's not touching that hose or barely touching that hose. Also, got to top off the power steering fluid. Make sure that's good. And we got some braces that need to go in the wheel well down in here. And then we can get this thing back down on the ground, make sure it's all good. Then maybe tomorrow after I get out of work, I can take this thing for a ride and make sure it's all good. Let's get started. I'm going to start with this fan shroud, getting this taken care of. So let's get to it. Got that fan shroud brought back down. It's really close to that power steering pulley, but there's a good solid 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch in there, so that should be fine. So next up, I want to get in here and get these braces put back on. I got this one completely off that I got to put on the driver's side. Then on the passenger side, I just got to put the bolt back in it and tighten it back up. So let's get that done. All right, so here's one for you guys. It's supposed to bolt in right here to the frame, and then there's a hole right here, and it just kind of braces that. Problem I'm running into is the bolt here, I can't put the bolt through it because it hits the power steering box, the new box. And even if I were to take the steering box and unbolt it, there's not even enough room for the head of the bolt on the other side. It would actually push the steering box out. And I can't like get up in here and put a nut and a bolt on it because it's sleeved. Not quite sure how we're going to do that. I'm going to probably let Aaron mess with that. I don't think it's going to be some sort of structural integrity of the car, but that is a really, really weird thing that we're going to have to maybe address or something. I'm just going to have to leave it off. I'm going to get the other side put on real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm kind of a little bummed out about that. Maybe we can weld it. Maybe he can weld a stud to the frame sticking out, and then we could bolt that. I unfortunately don't have a welder here, so I'll kind of let Aaron kind of mess with that, but that's kind of a weird flaw. But anyway, one thing that I want to do that I kind of overlooked is we need to grease that front end. So I'm going to go ahead, got my little greasy gun here. We're going to get under there and grease that front end and everything. So let me get that done. Alright guys, so I just picked up some more power steering fluid. Just going to put some of this in there to kind of top it off. And I am making a mess. Get my handy dandy flashlight, by which I mean my phone. Check it with the cap, see where we're at. Oh, we got quite a bit more to go here. Okay. Go with that. Probably thinking why I don't use a funnel. I don't know. Oh, we're looking good. Okay. So I'm just going to bleed it a couple of more times just to make sure, for good measure, it's there. And then we'll get this thing back down on the ground, and hopefully we can take it for a ride tomorrow. So, alright guys, so I got this thing all set, ready to go back down on the ground. What do you say we get her down? So I got the car back down on the ground, pulled it out of the garage. Steering felt pretty decent, but we're going to take it for a ride. We're going to take it up to the local market so that I can pick something up to make for dinner. I got it sitting over here. It's been idling for a minute. No leaks from what I can see. Everything looks really good. So I'm going to shut the hood and we're going to take it for a little ride. Alright. So the heat's not working in this thing, so it's a tad bit nippy. Just roll that window up. Okay. I mean, I turn the wheel and it feels pretty good. It's a lot tighter than it was before, that's for sure, but it's not growling. It's actually turning pretty good, so I really dig it. It's really nice. So let's take this thing up for a little ride, see how she does. Alright guys, so we're just driving this thing along. I can tell you right now, the steering wheel is not straight. And I kind of knew that was going to happen, but Aaron's going to have to take it to an alignment shop. It's actually cocked to the right pretty bad, but that was really to be expected. You know, just kind of happened. So I apologize for it being dark out. Not really much I could do for that, since I work during the day, and this time of year it gets dark about, you know, 5 o'clock. So, but yeah. Steering works really good. I'm really happy with it. One thing I still want to do though, I have just a regular nut on that steering shaft bolt. I'm going to want to get a good lock nut for that, so I will pick that up tomorrow after I get out of work and get that put on before I give it back to Aaron. I'm definitely wanting to do that. Alright guys, so made it up to the market in one piece. Steering is doing really good. This thing tracks pretty straight. Like I said, steering wheel's a little off, but pretty happy with it. So we can get this thing back to Aaron, pretty lickety split, and then we're going to get the WhiteWall special home. He hasn't got the valve covers done yet, but I did get him a head, so we'll be talking about that later. So yeah, let's head on home. Guys, so Aaron's car is all set. Everything works really well. He does need to take it to the alignment shop, get that steering wheel straightened out, but everything's working great. Steering feels nice and tight, a lot tighter than it did before, and I think we're good to get this thing back over to him. So I'm happy to say I think he'll be a very happy customer. So get this thing back over to him, and we'll get the WhiteWall special back. Coming up on the next episode, we're going to be working on the 88, getting that thing ready for winter. This garage is definitely going to need to be cleaned up first. So I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for tuning in to the Good Enough Garage. See you later.